Hey, what's up? I want to talk today about how we portray the future to the young generation. I don't want to be a doomsday, person who paints the future to the young as if the future or their future is grim. When we look into society, we look at the government system, with the president currently, it demonstrates or illustrates how, or symbolizes how the system has been dismantled. It's broken down. It's not being led by a strong, solid mind. So there must be something going on behind the scenes, right? Because we know Joe Biden isn't the man behind the decisions that are being made. So when a person asks me, my position politically at this point in time in my life, it's like, that's like a sport. It's equivalent to the football, the basketball playoffs. If you care about it, it can cause high blood pressure. It can cause you to really, feel what's going on. You're really in tune, but really does it matter? You get all hyped up and the team loses in the playoffs and then you just go back to being normal. So did it really matter in the first place? No, you was just invested emotionally because you rooting for it. You like the people. You identify in some way, shape, or form to the team. So this is the same thing I see in politics at this point. Now I don't want to speak from a perspective where I ruin the hope of the youth. But at the same time, just like you won't tell your children that Santa Claus is responsible for the gifts that came or that was placed under the tree. You see what I'm saying? You say, no, grandma bought this, or auntie bought you that, or your mother or your father bought you this. You see what I'm saying? It's okay to tell the truth. But we live in a society where people rather make belief on a mass. You see what I'm saying? So the truth, people shun. So that's okay. Because once you discover the truth there, you want to tell it, you want to get it out there. But it's only going to resonate with like-minded people. The truth, once God reveals it to you, is supposed to be used to your advantage. You're supposed to apply it. Heed your inspiration, your inner divinity, your inner being, your ego. When you have insight, you're looking at the social atmosphere, you say, I really am not a big fan of what's ensuing, right? I don't really like where the school systems are going, how the government is manipulating the public. Now we're being manipulated in ways where our health is being compromised, right? Our ability to travel freely, to live freely is compromised, and we don't know who to trust. How do we know that the orders that are being given to us by officials is healthy or not. When we're getting medications without ingredients, and we're not allowed to really question it. So all I'm saying is that this is a new age. This is a new era. And I'm a big proponent as being passport ready, having a savings as big as you can amass, enough to be able to live for a year or two in your favorite country or wherever God leads you abroad. And so I say this requires scholarship. You need to be doing your research. Where are plausible places to live? And you have to go and you have to investigate these things, explore, experiment. You're going to make mistakes, so you're going to have to network and learn from people who are ahead of you in the journey. And so, I don't understand what would be the better advice that someone can give you right now. The only thing that we can really give you is entertainment, or we can give you insight. We can give you perspective. And, I'm not really all that much in the entertainment business because it's enough of that. It's enough people talking about nonsense. It's enough people talking about the beginning stages of relationships, the dating phase. I'm going to tell you one thing. It's another aspect of society that has been broken down. It's the enmity that has been put between the man and the woman, as described in Genesis 3:1-5. Where it says, I will put an enmity between you and the woman, between her seed and your seed. He shall bruise your head and she shall bruise his heel. Yeah, that's not to a snake. It's to the people of the scripture, the hidden ones, which are the Nubian people, the people who came out of the Cushite kingdom, the people responsible for the towers that we see in Giza, aligned with the heavens, specifically what we call in the tradition of the Greeks, Series A, Series B. And this is where the whole story of the Tower of Babel comes from. But they don't want you to know that this is your history. The builders of civilizations, the founders of this, what we today know as the secret societies, but the societies of knowledge, Gnostic societies. We're living in the different era. We're living in a society of believers. And there's a difference. Real quick, the nature of man and woman is cooperation. That should be the center premise of the relationship between the man and the woman. It's a cooperation. Now, each, the male and the female, have strengths and weaknesses that should complement each other. The woman is much like the queen on the chessboard. she's able to maneuver through society in a way that men cannot. The man, we have to move a little bit more methodically, because if we get trapped, the game is over. You see what I'm saying? Now, because she's able to maneuver along the board differently, she sees herself as more powerful as the king. Matter of fact, she doesn't understand why the game has to be over just because the king has been trapped. And if she could, she would change that rule. But what she doesn't realize is when the king is trapped, she is also trapped. She just trapped in a very overt way. See, the masters know that the woman is vulnerable without the male. But the masters also know that the king is vulnerable without the queen. So this is the reason why enmity is being put in between the two, right? To empower her, to make her feel like because she can maneuver through society better than the male, that she is superior to the male. And she get caught up into her own ego, consumed by her ego. Is consumed by the concept that she can be the king on the board of the chess game, not understanding the importance of the bishops on both sides, the knights and the rooks and the pawns. My point is the game of life is more like chess than checkers, because you can't just jump your way by, but you have to thoughtfully maneuver and always watch your back. You want to have a backup. You want to be intricate in how you move, but moving towards your determination, something that you have specified, and being prepared. Just in case you get the calling, you can heed the calling. Just in case the doors open, you want to have enough oil for your lamp. Because you never know. But in conclusion, like I said, you don't want to look at tomorrow as if it is cloudy, although we know that there's cloudy days coming into tomorrows. You prepare for the sunshine. When you plan a vacation, you envision it being sunshine there. You don't know. You may be able to check the forecast, but sometimes that forecast is wrong. So the moral of the day is, when we speak about the future, we want to speak about it in a way of preparation and not a way of gloom and doom. Because the future is global no matter what. So you just make sure that your passport ready and that you have a savings. Constantly focus on that. Like, it's a lot that you don't need, but you feel like you need. But if you put that what you don't need away, you will accumulate. Buy things that you will need. Make sure you have a fresh laptop. Make sure you have the things that will be assets. And last but not least, check out my Patreon so that you can learn how to make money to travel abroad.